What's going on, guys? You already know what this is. You already know what you're watching. But if you don't, this is Adam's Theory, and I am Adam, also known as the Hater 2814. We're going to do a special show. I know I've been doing a lot of shows on relationships and, doing something to have, the girls talking. But right now, I want to do a show for my geeks out there, because, I'm a geek too, and this is Geek Nation. We're going to do a show on comic books. Now, I think sometime last week, I put on my Facebook that I was going to do this topic, and anybody who had any questions, to send them in to me, and I will answer them. And, of course, my friend Terrell gave me a whole load of questions. So, since I kind of feel that they are kind of basic in general, I'm gonna go try to answer all his questions, which he gave me a lot. So, alright. His first question was, why is Superman the standard for superheroes? Alright, because why he is? Superman is the ultimate good guy, which to some people just makes them sick to their stomach. But he's pretty much the Boy Scout. He does everything right, he does the good job. He does good no matter what, period. Unless his wife is threatened. Then all of a sudden all that crap goes out the window. If you don't believe me, ask Wonder Woman when Max Lord took over Superman's mind and made him think that someone killed Lois. And found out what that happened. Superman almost went crazy. Alright. His second question was, shouldn't Batman be getting his ass whipped by all the villains, since all his villains are more powerful than him? The thing that makes Batman so great is the fact that he's a freaking genius. And he is not only the world's greatest detective, but he's the world's greatest cheater. Batman never goes into the fight. He never has a fair fight. Why should he? He's at a big disadvantage. So he always comes into the fight that even a playing field. Meaning that if he has to fight Superman and knows it, he's going to have kryptonite with him. If he's going to go fight someone with super speed, he's going to do something that's going to limit the movement of the person he's fighting. If you don't believe me that he's the greatest cheater, read Tower of Babel in the Justice League, where Batman actually made plans to take out each member of the Justice League if they ever so happen to act up, such as making red kryptonite that made Superman's skin transparent and he couldn't control his powers, or Aquaman giving him one of the Scarecrow's fear toxins and made him actually afraid of water. Those are just examples of what he did. I'm not going to tell you guys everything. Please read it. It's one of my favorite books. Actually, in my personal opinion, it changed the direction of Batman and how people actually look at him in the DC universe. His other question was, if the Flash can time travel, can he stop all the bad stuff from happening? And if he could go to the future, pretty much, if the Flash could time travel, why doesn't he just stop everything bad from happening? And that's because time travel is very complicated. It's not just you go back and somebody gets hurt, so you go in the past to stop it. There's so many repercussions of it. By you doing that, it's a cause and effect. If that person never got hurt, then that person would have gone about his day, and he probably would have saw something or did something that he wasn't supposed to do, and it's a whole domino effect that could affect the future. And another example of this, which is actually a story that's coming up in the summertime, is Flashpoint, where it's going to be it's a story of time travel and the repercussions of changing things in the past. So, something that I think you guys should pick up. Pick it up. Let me see what other questions he had. He had a lot. If people pick up Thor's hammer and possess the power of Thor, how come no one can make a damn thunderbolt? Alright. Here's my theory on that. Because I'm not sure if all the people who picked up Thor's hammer never made a Thunderbolt. I know the people who I know picked up who has picked up Thor's hammer have been Captain America, Spider-Man. I believe Captain America and Spider-Man are the two people that I can recall who picked up Thor's hammer, and the Red Hulk, which it was because of the lack of gravity, which was complete BS. So I try to remove it from my continuity because it made no freaking sense to me. But my theory on why no one makes the Thunderbolt is when he had Thor's hammer is because if you are worthy to pick up Thor's hammer, you know the simple commands such as throw, return, and hit. You know the simple commands. As far as controlling the forces of the storm, that's maybe a little advanced, and that actually takes practice with the hammer, and practice that most people who have Thor's hammer other than Thor never get the chance to do. It's almost like using a Green Lantern ring. If you can use a Green Lantern ring, chances are when you first use it, the only things that you probably would be able to do is simple energy blast and maybe a bubble if you're lucky. But the more advanced constructs that the other lanterns, such as the one and only Kyle Rayner, one of the best Green Lanterns out there, that just throwing that out there as well, those take much more practice. So that's my theory on why other people just don't, start creating Thunderbolts. His next question is pretty good. Is when is the moral code when is the code of killing? When is it drawn? Like, when's the line? When can you kill him? When you cannot? And to be honest with that question, it depends on what universe you're talking about. In the DC universe, they have a pretty strict code on killing. If you're a hero, you don't do it. You really, really don't do it. And if you do, then you're pretty much shunned. When an example of this is when Wonder Woman killed Max Lord to stop him from taking over Superman's mind. The other heroes wasn't really pleased of her actions, and they looked at her differently, even though she had no other choice. It was if she did not do it, Superman was going to kill her, and God knows how many other people. So she had to do it. In the Marvel universe, in my personal opinion, the whole universe is a universe full of killers. First off, Captain America's a soldier, so he's killing people. Wolverine's a freaking murderer. The Punisher, come on, you got the Punisher, who's a vigilante shooting people every day. And it seems like a majority of the heroes in the Marvel universe has killed. Iron Fist has killed Hydra henchmen. So has Luke Cage. Gladiator has killed. I believe certain members of the Fantastic Four has killed. I can't really name an actual individual, but a lot of people have killed in the Marvel universe. X-Force is Wolverine's own personal hit squad that he has, that recently killed a young Apocalypse. Killed a child, basically. Put a bullet between his eyes. So it really depends on what universe you go to. If you're in a Marvel universe, you have a free fall, they'll let you kill all day. DC, if you do, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do. Unless you're on the Secret Six. Then, you can pretty much, you have a free pass to go and do whatever you want to do. Now, his other question is, why is Superman not labeled a god if he pretty much could challenge and fight all the other gods? The reason why Superman, even though he has godlike powers, and he could go toe-to-toe against some gods, my theory on why he's not a god is because if you kill Superman, he's dead. If you kill Thor, Darkseid, any of the new gods, their essence, their very soul, will eventually come back and find the body and come back. Thor and the Asgardians have been killed many times because of Ragnarok, and they got resurrected. Hercules has died and was resurrected. So have Zeus and Hera in the Marvel universe. In the DC universe, Darkseid is dead now, but I'm sure he's going to come back eventually because he is a god. if you kill Superman, usually, like, he's dead. The thing with Doomsday was that Superman, well, in the comic book continuity, Superman actually did die, but his father came to, not his real father, his adopted father came to him and stopped him from going into the abyss, or going into heaven or hell, whatever. But I think when they did when they kind of fine-tuned it, I think they said that he was in a hibernative state, so it seemed like he was dead, but he wasn't. But Superman, if you kill Superman, Superman is dead. If you kill Darkseid, he's only going to be dead for a certain length of time, because he's a god, and technically, you may be able to destroy his body, but never his spirit. Let me see. Why is Wonder Woman the only person with all those powers? I have no freaking idea. Wonder Woman is, I love her to death, but she's one of the most confusing characters in both in the Marvel and DC universe. I mean, she's one of the most confusing characters, period. She could go toe-to-toe against Superman. Yes, she needs those bracelets to block bullets. She can fly, but she has an invisible jet. It's one of those things that it's her power level and where she's at in power doesn't make sense. Such as, you could go toe-to-toe against Superman, but you need a sword and shield, and it's frustrating. Wonder Woman does have a show coming out that I hope will address some of these things, and I hope they do it, and I hope they do a good job at it, because maybe they will, maybe they'll flow over to comic book continuity. I think I'm gonna have to do my own special show on Wonder Woman just to vent out my frustrations with her. Now, his last question is about the Guardians, the Guardians of the Universe, and not the Marvel side, but the actual Guardians from the Green Lanterns. And pretty much he's asked, and his question was that if the Guardians are so freaking powerful, why don't they get off their butts and do stuff and stop having Green Lanterns do everything? And first off, the Guardians do get off their butts and do some work. Examples are during the Sinestro War, they got off their butts to fight the Anti-Monitor. They got off their butts during Blackest Night. And Gauntlet is actually a Green Lantern. So the Guardians are playing a more of an active role in the Green Lantern affairs. However, they oversee the whole universe. And so they made the police force to pretty much handle the little work. So that way they could look at the big picture and handle a lot of the administrative aspects of, the Green Lantern Corps. Alright? So, those are all his questions being answered. If you like my answers, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, and you want to challenge me on some of them, by all means, please. Of course, this. I'm always looking for, hearing people's reactions, what they have to say about it. I will do a couple more shows for my Geek Nation out there. I will try to actually do a weekly show, probably every Wednesday, just about comic books, just to keep you guys updated on what's going on in the DC and Marvel universe. This summer's going to be pretty big with a lot of comic book movies coming out: Captain America, Thor, and of course Green Lantern, which I'm crossing my fingers with. It seems like it should be good, but I think because I'm such a Green Lantern fan, and because they don't have the best Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, there in the movie, I'm going to be very critical of it. But I hope you guys like the show. Hit me back. If you got any more questions, leave it on my Facebook, give me a message, put the comments down on the YouTube, let me know, and of course, I'm going to get back to you, okay? This is The Hater. Holla back at